Uh, Prof. Dr. Ishak Yusof, Pengarah UKM Career, Associate Prof. Dr. Rusila Hassan, Timbalan Pengarah Citra Keusahawanan, Dr. Lokman Hakim. Dr. Lokman Hakim, Pengarah program hari ini, program kuliah umum kedua, distinguished guests, fellow lecturers and coordinators, and the students, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi, selamat sejahtera, and a good afternoon. Now, welcome to the second public lecture on entrepreneurship, and this program is organized as one of the requirements of the LMCW 1022 course, which is Principles in Entrepreneurship and Innovation. We are very much privileged to have with us three speakers from three different agencies related to entrepreneurship and also employability. Mr. Adi Gunso from Talent Corp, Mr. Derek To from Warp.com, and Madam Jaya Sheila from My Harapan, an NGO. Now we have been really waiting for the moment, so without further ado, let us invite our first speaker, Mr. Adi Gunso, Assistant Manager of the Graduate Employability Unit, Talent Corp, to enlighten us on Talent Corp and how it will feature in your future. So with that, I invited Mr. Adi Gunso.
Terima kasih Tuan Pengerusi Majlis. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good afternoon. Apa khabar UKM? Tak kuat? Tak dengar? Apa khabar UKM? Dah makan? Belum? Kenapa tak makan lagi? Puasa? Okay, kalau yang tak makan lagi, I hope you are awake. Yang dah makan pun, saya harap awak tak ngantuk. Alright? First of all, thank you so much Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia for hosting us today. My name is Ardi Gunsu from Talent Corporation Malaysia Berhad. I am from the Campus Outreach and Engagement Unit under the Malaysian Talent Development Division, focusing on graduate employability. I've been working with Talent Corp for 2 years now, dealing with students, universities, employability related things. And I'm very nervous now actually, because I never had such a huge crowd, but you know, I never had such a huge crowd. So congratulations to UKM for being able to host, to organize such a very good event today. Okay, because I only have 50 minutes, first question from me. Pernah dengar pasal Talent Corp? Pernah ke tak? Siapa yang tak pernah dengar? Oh, semua tak pernah dengar. So when you first heard about Talent Corp, what do you think? Apa yang awak terfikir? Asian Got Talent? Akademi Fantasia? Well, it's undeniable that kita pernah dianggap sebagai sebuah syarikat yang mencari bakat. Bakat nyanyian, bakat lakonan, bakat menari, you know. But I will go through very brief about Talent Corp. Basically, we are a government agency. Kami merupakan agensi kerajaan yang telah ditubuhkan pada 2011, 1 Januari 2011, yang ditugaskan oleh pihak kerajaan untuk cater talent issues in Malaysia. So, meaning to say, if you see here, alamak, okay, nampak diagram tu, bulat-bulat tu kan? So, we are a focal point between three parties, the government, the industry, as well as the universities. So universities, basically we are focusing on the talent pool, the students, so we are connecting these three parties. We are building up partnership. We organize activities in collaboration with various parties from the industries and from the universities. So I am from the Malaysian Talent Development Division. I'm focusing on graduate employability. So the things that we do is like doing career talk, career fair, networking session between students and companies, and so many things that we do actually. So this is our tree. Kita panggil talent corp tree, pokok Pokok tapi dia ada buah, tapi buah tu tak boleh dimakan. And it grows every year. So if you see here, if you can see yang hijau tu, color hijau tu, that is actually my area of focus, enhancing graduate employability. So basically, if you see here, we are trying to optimize Malaysian talents in Malaysia melalui 3 perkara: awareness, exposure, and enhance. Enhance. So this is our industry-ready graduate funnel. Kita datang ke universiti, kita jumpa students, kita engage dengan career center. We organize event, we organize activity with students untuk membantu para pelajar mengenali industri ya, dan mengetahui hala tuju awak sebagai pelajar sebelum dan selepas awak tamat belajar. Because I aware that from my engagements with many students, many universities, I notice many students tak tahu pun lepas ni nak jadi apa. They are not even ready to work. Sedangkan dalam masa yang sama kita sebagai pelajar kena tahu, even myself dulu, saya masa masuk universiti saya tak tahu pun. Lepas belajar ni, habis ni saya nak jadi apa. And we don't have talent corp that time. Kita tak tahu industri apa yang sedang berkembang, kita tak tahu company mana yang dah nak orang, students ataupun talent daripada this area dan sebagainya. So our existence in Malaysia is basically to educate the students, to build partnership with industry, government, the universities, and to give you guys, in terms of awareness, career awareness. So we come to you, we come to students, we tell that this is the area that you should think about. Even though I know that everyone here is from first year, right? Okay, so dah tahu ke? Lepas ni nak pergi mana? Have you ever pernah fikir tak? Lepas ni nak jadi apa? Ataupun have you ever think about, aku nak kerja ke? Nak duduk rumah dulu bila dah habis ni? So rata-rata majority, even myself dulu pun sebenarnya tak tahu. So this is where we come, kita datang and kita dah ada platform for you students untuk dapatkan that exposure, career awareness. Kita ada awareness, kita ada career fair, sector focused career fair. And even now we are having a sector focused career fair in UPSI. We bring in companies to the university, we organize a fair and we connect the companies to you and for you to be able to know about what are the industries all about. Apa opportunities yang available, kat mana nak pergi lepas ni, nak kerja macam mana. So, I tell you what, apa yang awak ambil sekarang, tak semestinya apa yang awak akan jadi apa yang awak ambil sekarang. I am from finance background, but I'm doing HR thing. Totally different, right? So, belajar, tapi it's actually based on what do you want. What do you want to be? Awak nak jadi apa? Right? So, awareness, career awareness, kita nak bagi tahu pelajar, awak macam ni. You have to be involved in co-curriculum activities. Don't focus too much on, academic is very important, but you have to get it balanced between your academic and your co-curriculum. Because companies are looking for those people yang bukan sahaja bagus dari segi akademik, tapi penglibatan dalam bidang co-curriculum juga adalah amat penting. So, you have to be ready that in university, bukan akademik semata-mata. Ada curriculum activities, ada area di mana awak perlu dedahkan diri awak kepada area-area ini untuk membolehkan awak lebih employable after you finish your study. Setuju tak? Terima kasih. So kita ada exposure. kita ada competition, kita ada structured internship program. So when you are looking for internship placement later, we have this structured internship program. Ya, internship ataupun latihan industri yang lebih teratur dengan syarikat-syarikat yang kita dah endorse di bawah SIP, Talent Corp. So, look for companies yang ada di bawah SIP by Talent Corp. Awak akan dapat a very valuable benefit, exposure and benefit yang sangat bagus. Alright? Dan bila awak dah habis belajar, the employability part. Kalau we have programs like upskilling, kita ada GEMS, Graduate Employability Management Scheme. The upskilling program where we train you. The framework is like we place you and we train you in a company with the objective, we want to see that at the end of the day, at the end of the program, you are more employable ataupun you are employed by the company yang ambil awak sebagai trainee. So these three things, awareness, exposure, employability. Dan kita akan selalu datang ke UKM untuk buat aktiviti dengan students. Dan kita juga support activities yang student nak buat. So if you need support from Talent Corp in terms of organizing talks, organizing mini event, you can contact us because we will be more than happy to assist you and to give you the opportunity to get exposed to the industry dan membantu awak untuk enhance awak punya keboleh pasaran. So these are the four things yang kita buat dalam area employability punya program. Kita ada SIP, the Structured Internship Program. We also have Sector Focused Career Fair, SFCF. Kita ada GEMS, Graduate Employability Management Schemes. Dan yang terakhir kita ada Upskilling. Upskilling dengan GEMS is a similar program. Program yang awak boleh join after you finish your study in case you couldn't find a job. Alright? Dan dari segi kolaborasi kita dengan pihak UKM, kita sekarang ni memang sedang aktif bekerjasama dan baru-baru ini kita telah tubuhkan ataupun we establish a center we call IndiZone, Industry Engagement Zone, di mana student can use this as a platform for you to meet up with companies, industries, to know about employment opportunity, internship opportunity. You can do whatever you want, asalkan ia berkaitan dengan keboleh pasaran dan sebagainya. Dan kita dah ada benda ni dekat bangunan Pusaneka UKM. So we want the students to really fully utilize this area and of course kita akan assist dari segi content. We bring in companies, we also will come. And this 6th of June, kita akan ada event dekat this IndiZone berkaitan dengan penulisan resume. So itu antara perkara lain yang kita buat dengan students lah. We have talks, we have clinic for you to, we teach you how to write a good resume, we teach you about interview tips dan sebagainya. Dan dari segi, bila cakap pasal resume, kita juga sedang bekerjasama dengan pihak UKM untuk, we want to set up online punya CV punya, we want to help you to create that online CV punya template for you to refer dan for you to be able to have one good CV for your future punya use. Alright, so we will do many things with UKM from time to times. And if students, kalau awak nanti dah terlibat dengan student society, you know, you involved in many event in UKM, you want to get us involved, you can get connected to us and we will more than happy to assist. Alright, so this is about the IndiZone. Dia baru yang telah kami tubuhkan. So kita memang sangat committed membantu pelajar-pelajar kita kat Malaysia ni untuk lebih employable, boleh dipasarkan, boleh mudah dapat kerja selepas belajar nanti. So get involved, you know, dekat universiti adalah platform di mana awak, you can try so many things. You can be anyone that you want to be. Awak kena really get involved, not only in academic, tapi juga co-curriculum. Because that will help you to get a job after you finish your study. So, I think that's all. Thank you so much for your time and Assalamualaikum.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ardi Gunso, for enlightening us on what Talent Corp is and what Talent Corp can do for you in your future. Now, we have with us, all right, okay, before that, you can save your questions right at the end. We have a Q&A session at the end of this program. Now, if you have any burning questions for Mr. Ardi, just save it for the moment, yeah? Now, let's turn to the second speaker, and he's none other than Mr. Derek To. And Mr. Derek To is actually the co-founder, partnership, and admission of Warp.my. Now, a little bit, yeah? 1 minute on you, all right? A little bit on Mr. Derek To. Now, he has a platform designed to help Gen Y job seekers find jobs with the right culture for them. And he's actually a professional accountant. He was with Ernst & Young in the UK. He has this ACCA.
Hi, thanks. Yeah, I'm not doing this very well, obviously. And wait for the slides to get up. I just want to ask a quick question. So obviously, when Talent Corp first asked me to come here and talk about something, I actually asked them, what do you want me to talk about? Because I've done different things before. And they said, oh, let's talk about graduate employability. It's about writing CVs, interviews, things like that. But there's a lot of information out there. Actually, you can go and read it yourself. And then I have to do it in like 40 minutes. So I thought that's pretty challenging. So I'm going to try to make it a bit more concise, and just tell you a bit of a story that all of you will actually go through after you graduate. Literally, you will actually go through the same thing as what I did when I first graduated. And so I think that's, so we can follow that, but before we go, yeah, so how many of you guys actually know what you want to do after you graduate? Can I see? No one knows what you want to do after you graduate? Oh, wow. What do you guys, okay, so if you don't know, I suppose, do you even know what options there are? What do you guys study here? Like what subject is this? What? All kinds of subjects, right? I think. So, now, if you actually know if you actually figure out what you actually want to do, then the next thing you need to know is how you're actually going to get to that job, which is what the challenging part is. Now, I'm going to tell you what I went through, and I actually graduated. So, and before that, I just want to say that actually a lot of people don't realize this, but the first 5 years of your career is so important, because it will literally set the direction for the rest of your career. People don't realize this now. Of course, when you don't have experience, the experience you gather in your first 5 years play a big role in how the rest of your career will really turn out. So I hope you guys really pay attention, because when you don't have experience, it's hard to get experience. And those experiences really matter. Some people manage to change their jobs, 5, 6 years later, but most of them don't. Because you've gathered all this experience, your salary gets higher, you tend not to change a job after that. So make sure you choose very carefully and try to get the best type of company employer you can get straight away after you graduate. This clicker doesn't like me. Yeah, and there is a very big difference between knowing how to do the job and actually knowing how to get the job. So you have to so even if I know I'm a very good accountant, that doesn't mean that the Big Four firm is going to hire me. It does mean if I don't interview well, if I don't write my CV very well, they're still not going to hire me. Only I know I'm a good accountant. But you need to let them know that you are good. And that's why all these things matter. And people don't pay enough attention there. So this is me 13 years ago. When I first, haven't aged that much, but I think still the same. When I first graduated, and I thought I was going to do amazing things. I really thought I was going to do amazing. I was so excited. I had an accounting degree. I was doing this in London. And then I told myself, oh, okay, I'm going to apply to all the big 4 firms, and they're all going to love me, and I'm going to choose which one I want to join, right? But it was like a very big problem because, number one, it's very difficult to get into the big 4. It's very, very difficult. They have very high standards. And on top of that, I had a very, very big problem in that I wasn't British. I wasn't local. So they don't hire that many foreigners. And if they do hire a foreigner, they must be super high standards, really, really high performing person. But my university at the time was ranked number 88 in the whole UK. 88, yeah, 2 digits. And I didn't do A-levels, so it's like STPM. In the UK, it's like STPM. I didn't do A-levels, so they really, really look at your A-levels. And it was really tough. It was really tough. But I didn't care. I applied to all 4 big 4 companies. In particular, EY. I really wanted to work in EY because I have a lot of friends who work there and do very well. EY, PwC, KPMG, and Deloitte. And none of them replied. None of them wanted to interview me. I think one of the firms was nice enough to send me a letter just to say, oh, we have 10,000 applications every year. So we only hire a few hundred, so sorry, we won't even shortlist you for an interview. So I was so sad, right? I was like, oh, my world is torn apart. But I said, I'll do it. I'll find a way, Let's start with a small, medium-sized company first. So I started researching how to write a CV. So I wrote a CV. And then I went on Google and I found out all these CV writing tips. I'll tell you how long my first CV was, yeah. And remember, I had 0 experience. I had a few years of experience working in this small company doing some accounting work. And my first CV was 5 pages long. 5 pages. Who would have thought? I looked at it, I started writing all these like grandmother stories about what I'm doing since I was in school and from college, and my internship experience was 1 page long. I don't even remember what I put on the CV. How I got to 5 years. But I was proud of the CV because it's my life, right? It's my story. I keep reading, oh, this is so good, I did so much. But no one cares. I sent it out to 100 companies and not a single person came back. And this is a smaller company wanted to interview me. So I asked a friend, and the friend who actually got a job in London actually said, look at your CV for you. So I showed him the CV. And then he saw 5 pages. No way. No way. He said, my CV is 1 page long. And I have 3 years of experience. I only have 1 page long. You really have. They said, how do I get all this important information away? I said, no one cares. Just focus on the most important thing you want them to know. Because the companies go through hundreds of CVs all the time, you want to make sure you catch their attention straight away. So you eliminate all the rubbish, focus on the best things, and you don't talk about what my responsibilities were. I did filing, I made coffee, whatever. I mean, they don't care about that. You tell them what you achieved. So then you write things like, oh, I successfully completed the financial statements for this year, 2002, for example, in 2 weeks. I did this project and we completed it in 2 months. People want to see that you made a lot of achievements. So I started changing my CV. And then so I sent it out to the next 50 companies, and I finally got the interview. So I want to tell you, so I sent out the CV and I got the interview. There are a lot of things, CV writing tips you can get over the internet, but here's a couple that I wanted to focus on. From this, my own experience, from getting a CV up to interview stage. You can use your phone and just take a picture of that if you want. Please, there's so much more out there that you can do, but I just want to focus on these couple of things, which I felt really got me those first interviews. So I kept it short. I kept it very short. If you're a graduate, 1 page. Right now, I have 10 years of work experience. Do you know how long my CV is? 1.5 pages. That's all. On my CV today. Focus on what you achieved. Speak in the past tense. Don't say, oh, I was responsible to do this. Tell them what you actually did. Right? Put the most impressive thing at the top. if you're very proud, if you think you did very well in your education, your CGPA is very high, put it at the top. If you do a lot of volunteer work before, that shows that you're a very passionate person, you care about a lot of things, then put that at the top. Because the person who looks at it, if you don't catch their attention very fast, they're just going to push your CV away and start reading the next one. And obviously make sure that it looks like you put some effort to make the CV look good. I think, I know like there are out there, there are a lot of like job portals, you can go create a CV and then they print out like a standardized format. No, don't do that. Design your own CV. I don't mean a flashy CV, but at least make sure that it's professional, it's clean, and looks like you did it yourself, not that you were lazy. So I got my first interview. So I was like super excited. Yay, interview. It was with a company that only had, I think, 5 people in it. Small accounting firm. I was so excited. I started researching all the questions you asked me, and then I started thinking, oh, what am I going to answer? When you ask me, what am I going to, I keep thinking. So I kept thinking, I was very excited the night before. And then I walked in. I was very nervous, super nervous. My first interview in my life, super nervous. I walked in, I shook his hand, and he said, oh, hi, good morning. I was like, yeah, good morning. And then I was very quiet, and I just followed him to the interview. I didn't say a thing the whole time. I followed him. I walked into the interview room, and then he asked me to sit down, so I sat down. And I only remember like these 2 questions, really. Like, he asked me one question. He said, oh, so Derek, tell me about yourself. And I started telling him that, oh, I'm from Malaysia, and I have one brother. I've been here for a year. It was so boring. I talked about my family. It's not that related to the job. But I thought, it's very personal to do that. He looked so disinterested. So I kept it there. I went quiet. And I said, how do you develop yourself? He asked me. And I said, yeah, I develop myself. Yeah, I work very hard. I like to read. And I stopped. I looked at him, and then he looked at me, expecting me to continue. And then I looked at him, and I think he realized that was the end of my sentence. So then he went on to ask something else, and all my answers were so short. I wasn't really elaborating my experience. I wasn't really selling myself. It was so horrible. And I came out of the interview, right? And then I went out to meet my friend. Then we went to celebrate. I said, yay, my first interview. I said, how do you do? I said, oh, I did really well. So well. I said, I answered all the questions. I managed to answer all the questions. I think he's going to call me back for another interview. And he didn't, right? Yeah, this guy didn't even write me a letter. He was horrible, man. But, there you go. So he didn't. Now, what happened after this was I realized that my interview skills were so bad. It's not good enough to just answer the question. That knowing how to answer the question and sell yourself is very important. So I started writing down all the questions that he asked me. And I think, actually, if someone was to ask me this question again, how am I going to answer it better? So I started writing down. I started practicing in front of the mirror. Literally practice. Sometimes a lot of people think that, oh, I write this down, oh, I remember. When you come out, when you say it, it doesn't come out the same. You practice it all the time. And every time you hear the question, when you say the answer, you get better at answering the question until it's so calm, so natural, so smooth that, it makes a huge difference. And finally, I landed a job in this medium-sized company after going through, I think, 15, 16 different interviews. It's a long process, long. But every interview, I got better. Every interview, I got it. And, now, before I go into the company, I still remember this company, so before I went, I actually researched the company in a lot of detail. My answers were really smooth. And I was very confident and very friendly in that interview because I'm so used to it already. The first time you get very nervous, but it's okay. Practice. Next time, I'll be more confident next time. I'll go in, I'll be confident, very friendly, very energetic. That's very important. So here are the things that I think everyone should remember when it comes to interview. So you actually research the company very well. Actually, this is more because you want to show them that you made an effort. Like you actually care about doing some research about who they are. That's why you're there at the interview. You have to be very confident, you have to be super friendly, and you have a good energy level. Don't be like sleepy and tired. No one wants to hire someone who's sleepy and tired. I don't want to hire someone sleepy and tired. Have energy. And improve your answers, keep practicing. Every time you go in, until today, I still get asked questions that have never been asked before. And the first time I answer the question is normally very bad. Confirmed very bad. The first time I answer the question. Because I'm quite a slow thinker. I don't think very fast. But the second time I get better. The third time I get really, really good. Okay? So just keep getting better. And the thing is, whatever question they're asking you, if they're asking you to tell me about yourself, or what do you do over the weekend, what they're really asking you is, why should I hire you? That's what they're really asking you, regardless of the question. Every question you hear is an opportunity for you to sell yourself to them or to show them that you're suitable for the job. I'll give you an example. If someone says, what do you do over the weekend? If I'm applying for a sales job, right, I have to show that I meet people a lot, right? I'm out there, I engage in like community type of work, I'm a very sociable person. Then maybe they'll like me as a salesperson. So always think like that. So I finally got the job in a medium-sized company. Okay, I'll show you how you're going to get to that ideal job that you really, really want. So obviously, the medium-sized company wasn't, when I first graduated, it wasn't really what I wanted to do. I wanted to work in EY, right? I wanted to work in the Big Four, but they didn't even want to interview me. So what I did was, when I got this job, I actually worked really, really hard at it. Really, really hard. And ultimately, after about 2 years or so, I got promoted several times. I was almost completing my ACCA. Things were actually going very well. And I thought, with some experience, maybe I can send my CV to a headhunter, right, a recruitment company there in the UK. And I did. I said, I don't know what kind of job I can get, but I just want to try. I'll give you my CV. And a week later, this person called me and told me that, hey, good news, actually EY wants to interview you. I was so excited. Yes, after a few years, finally, I'm going to get an interview. So I started preparing for the interview. Obviously, I was getting very good at being interviewed, but I've never been interviewed by a big company before, never. I don't know what they expect and things like that. So the night before the interview, I drove my car out to the office. I make sure I know exactly where it is. I drove out. I said, okay, it takes me about 30 minutes to get to this place. So I need to make sure I have 30 minutes time. So your interview is supposed to be 8 o'clock in the morning. But when I left to go there, there was a very bad traffic jam. It's very bad traffic jam. And the interview was supposed to be at 8. I was supposed to meet the partner. And I couldn't call them because no one was at reception. And I literally arrived at 8:30 in the morning for my interview with Eva. I was sweating. I was scared. I thought, that's it. No, they're not going to hire me, right? So I called the guy. He came up. He saw me. He didn't look very happy. I was 30 minutes late. And I tried to make it very light. I joked about it. I said, oh, sorry, I didn't realize that the traffic was so bad. I just started being very chatty. I was very energetic. I was very friendly. And I talked to him, talk, while we were walking to the interview. I was being very nice. And then he sat me down. And then while we were talking, obviously I was so well practiced at the interview already that regardless of whatever they were asking, I actually knew how to answer it really well. And this is probably interview number 16 or 17 already. Like, it literally took me that long, but it's possible. And at the end, he said, "Oh, okay, yeah." I said, "I really like you, so maybe I'll speak to you. Expect a call from me a couple of days from now." So that's good. So in the end, I actually was hired by EY, and I was so super happy. Now, the reason why I wanted to tell you this, right, is because when you go out and you actually look for your job, you have a first choice, you may not get it. Right? You have to remember that. You may not get your first choice. You have a few things that you want, you may not get it. That's fine. Yeah, but you don't give up. You tell yourself, okay, this is what I want to work towards. You don't need a strict plan, but you need to know roughly, I want to work in this kind of business, this kind of company, doing this kind of thing. And then you work really, really hard at the job that you have. Right? Don't forget, a lot of people sometimes think, this is not really what I wanted. And then you show, like, if your attitude is not very good, it's not going to help you get that next job. So your positive attitude and hard work, when you come out to the real world, you will see this literally. Skill doesn't matter as much. A lot of people will tell you that. When you actually get your job, it's how your attitude actually, how positive you are, and how hard you work at your job that will determine whether you progress in your career or not. This is really important, so you have to remember this. And then you keep learning, and you keep getting better. Now, I think all of you are like maybe first, second year students. Maybe you might be looking for an internship. So I'll talk a little bit about how you actually look for a job. There are a few places you can look for a job. I think it should come up anytime soon. Yeah, okay, so as a graduate, I think career fairs are a great place. You should try going to career fair, preparing for internship or graduate. Go start going for career fairs before you graduate already, because a lot of employers go there to hire young talent, people in their very early careers. So go there, start meeting people, talk to them, get a feel for what companies are like, whether or not you actually get the job. But it's very good to go career fairs. You can apply to them direct on their website. That kind of works. For graduate jobs, if certain corporate companies, you have to go through like many pages application form because they have to filter you. But if you really want it, you have to do it. You can go to job portals. That's pretty standard. But I also want to introduce to you what I'm working on in work. So my background, so after I left EY, I came back to Malaysia, and I joined a recruitment company, right, called Robert Walters. So we help a lot of very experienced people, 5 years and above experience, mainly look for a job. And I found that a lot of young people actually struggle to find a job in Malaysia. A lot of young people, it's not easy to find a very good job. So I tried to develop this to help a lot of young people. There's a lot of graduate jobs and a lot of internships on the site. And then we make it super easy to actually find a job. And you can click on it, and you can even look inside the company and see who's working there, what's the office environment like. And you can actually watch videos of interviews of people who work there as well. So here are some screenshots from the site that I'm building right now. So if you were actually looking for companies, this is what you see. Yeah, so it's more screenshots of what it looks like to look for a company. Yeah, so if you click in the company, let's say you can see this is what the office looks like. So more photos of their office. So you have really good companies. We have companies like Magic using us. There's like PayPal, Tune Insurance. More and more companies will be using us. So you can click on those buttons and you can watch interviews with the CEO and the people who actually work there. So you know, oh, this is not a bad company. I'm just going to show you a very quick video. I'm not sure whether there's going to be sound or not of how to use the app. Oh, there isn't. Oh, don't worry. I'll just show you. So once you download the app, you just log in using your Facebook account. And then this is what you see. You can click on the site and choose what kind of industry you want to work in. You can choose the industry. And then straight away, it will show you the type of jobs that you think you like. If you don't like the job, you just swipe left and you just reject the job. If you like the job, you just swipe right. And then your CV gets sent to the company straight away. It's like really easy. If you want to know what's inside the company, just press that button and you can see, oh, okay, this is what the office is like. You can watch interviews of the people who actually work there. So you can do it on the phone anytime. You don't have to sit in front of your computer and apply for a job anymore. Even at university, in between classes, you just pull out your phone and you can start applying.
You can use the WAP app
that sounds
anytime,
great.
anywhere. While you're sitting down waiting for your friends, or while you're just chilling at a cafe.
WAP actually educates job seeker about company culture, and it is very important for us to truly shine and do well in our job. We have to fit into the company culture.
Like major job sites, they are very vague about the job description, the company, and sometimes I have to like Google and see, so what this company do, and I have to do like extra work, and WAP does the work for me.
That's it. So you can actually, it's actually on iPhone and Android, so you can download it if you want. And then it's actually a good place to test whether you have a good CV or not. Because once you submit your CV, it reaches me. I look at it. And then I decide whether it gets approved or not. So if you want to find out you have a good CV, you can try downloading the app and upload the CV. Yeah, that's it. So I think they're like, I don't know how many people in this room, so obviously I'm not going to be able to meet all of you, but you can go to the website. My email address is there. So if you wanted to reach out to me, if you have any question, even very generic about, like career stuff that's on your mind, you can just drop me a line. I move around a lot, but I try my best to answer. If not, I'll get someone from the team to help you out as well. Okay, that's all I want to talk about. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Director, for such an enlightenment. He has told you a story way back when he was in the UK. Now, some says that the best lecture would be in a story, right? Hopefully, you are enlightened and you can start going into that, website. Now, but don't go to the website right now, because we have another speaker. Oh, there she is. All right, we just wait for her. And she is Madam Jaya Sheila, Manager Capacity and Capability of My Harapan. All right, I have a few words written for Jaya Sheila, her trainer biodata. Now, she is a certified trainer by trade. Sheila is an industry veteran with years of experience in a variety of soft and hard skills coaching, having served clients such as Fuji, Xerox, Tenaga National Berhad, Guinness Anchor Berhad, DG Telecommunications, and the Ministry of Higher Education. Madam Sheila now heads the coordination of the Foundation's Youth and Advisory Workshops.
Thank you very much. Okay, you just can address me as Sheila. Don't need to call me as Jaya Sheila. My name is actually very long. Jaya Sheila Anak Perempuan Celia Semolkul Pichai. All right, so just Sheila. No mambo, no on 7, no Majid. I can't sing. So I'm going to move around, all right? I know it's afternoon and you've been listening a lot of things from just now. So can you stand up? Can you just put your things aside and just stand up? All right. Okay, this is what you're going to do. When I say hello, all right, when I say hello, you are going to wave at me by saying hi. Can you do that? Both your hands, okay? I want to see both your hands and you wave at me, all right? 1, 2, go. Hello. Hi. Hello. Come on, UKM, you can do louder and higher, both your hands. Let's try that again. Hello. Hi. Wonderful. Now you can take a seat. All right. Hopefully you don't sleep. Okay, I'm going to share something very important with you. Before I share those important things, I will tell you where I'm coming from. Can you guess where I'm coming from? Sure, Malaysia. Yes, I am a Malaysian. I'm not, my grandparents were from India, but I'm born legitimately in Malaysia. All right. Okay, the organization that I'm representing this afternoon is My Harapan. You can see it on the screen. Any of you heard of My Harapan before? My Harapan, my hope. I'm your hope today afternoon. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Okay, My Harapan, it's an NGO. Yeah. All right, My Harapan is an NGO. Okay. We work with youths. All of you are youths here? Are you sure? I hear people are saying, yeah. I don't know yet. All right. Okay, we work with youths between the age of 16 to 30. Are you like me, 16 to 30? Very good. All right, we work with youths. Our main aim is youth development. All right. So we don't work with any government parties. We are independent. All right. We are non-partisan. And we don't charge anything to make profits. If we charge you, it's basically to cover our operational costs. So we are not for profit. Okay? So that's what we do. We were born in 2010. So how old are we? Very good. Y'all are very good in maths, not like me. I don't know how to count. That's why I asked you. All right, wonderful. So what do we do? All right. We want to develop wholesome youths. All right, wholesome youths. Now, the reason why we want to develop wholesome youths is basically to give them independence. Do you know what is independence? What is independence? To buy a car? Merdeka. Oh, I heard the car only. I didn't hear the Merdeka. All right, true. For you to have independence when you are a youth, that means 16 to 25, 24, what must you have? What you need? Money. What else do you need? Girlfriend? Education, correct? Attitude, mental ability, able to communicate, right? A lot of things. When we talk about independent, being wholesome, it covers a lot of areas, right? So that's what we do. We want to create a wholesome, independent Malaysian youths. How do we do it? I will share with you shortly. Are you with me? Hello? Wonderful. All right. If you want to know more about us, you can come and talk to me. But today I'm just going to cover very quickly. All right. Because you all look very sleepy. Like, Okay. I'm going to share with you about social business. Have you heard of social business? Have you heard of social business? Yes or no? Have you heard of business? Okay. Mr. Derek, just now he shared his story. Do you want me to share mine? Okay. I too went to UK. So, yeah, similar to Derek. But I come from a very small family, all right, middle class Indian family, 5 of us, all right, and I didn't want to do my Form 6. All of you did your Form 6? I hear a no and yes, huh? So some of you probably did your matriculation. If not, you are here illegally. No, maybe you did your diploma. All right, I didn't do my Form 6, I did my A levels. All right, and I did my A levels and I went to UK to study. And my father, who is not very well to do, he spent about 200 over 1,000 to educate me. So can you feel my pressure? Right? When parents spend money educating you, you come back, what must you do? What must you do? Shake leg. Payback, right? You got to find a job. So I came back. I still remember I reached home early morning, 5 a.m. I reached the airport. So I came back home. I was actually very stressed because I know the next thing I have to do is find a job. I'm not going to tell you when I graduated, but many, many years ago. And that was during our economy was not doing too well. So I came back. The first thing I did, I ate 2 roti canai, 1 bongkus of nasi lemak, and I went to sleep. Because in UK, very expensive, all these things. So I came back, I ate, and I slept. I slept for 14 hours. And then I woke up, all right? I woke up, my father was waiting for me. Then he said, okay, go and take your shower and everything, came to the table. He said, so what are you going to do? Then I asked him, what do you mean? So he said, now that you're back, I spent a lot of money already, so what are you going to do? I said, look for a job. Then he said, this was very shocking to me. He said, I have a job for you. I said, you have a job for me? Since when? You are working for someone, all right? So he said, he spoke to this man. Okay, by the way, I come from Port Klang. Anybody from Port Klang? Can you put up your hand? God. My friend from Port Klang, huh? All right, wonderful. Port Klang is really far from here. So my father said, he spoke to this man. He has a travel, tourism shop, where they sell tickets, all right? Touch Travels. So he said he's looking for someone to sell tickets. And I told my dad, how much is the pay, huh? My father said 1,000 ringgit. He said, instead of you not doing anything, can you go and do something? Now, during that time, my options were very, very limited. You are so lucky to be here to listen to me, people like Derek, your, google.com, you can just, all at your fingertips. Those days, if I want to get connected to the internet, I need a cable. And it will go like, with the tone, I know whether it will get connected or not connected. It takes me 30 minutes to get connected. And I have to wait till everybody is asleep so that I can use the phone line. Now you know roughly what's my age, huh? Those were the days, no options. So I agreed with my dad. So I went to do. And I was selling tickets. All right? I was sad and happy. Happy because I had a job. Sad because I had to sell tickets. All right? And I was very, very embarrassed to meet my friends. But at one point, my father told me, why are you embarrassed to meet your friends? Your friends got no job. You have a job. So the first thing, I know most of you are first-year students, correct? Wonderful. From today onwards, you start thinking, what is it that makes you happy? Because this is the question I was asking myself from my first job. I was looking for answers. And Derek said it takes about 5 years. The first 5 years is the most powerful impact in choosing your job. Hello? Hi? All right, good, you're listening to me. So it took me 2 years. It took me 2 years. So the first thing you need to start asking from now, I know there are medical doctors here, all right, there are engineering students, journalism students, all right, social sciences students. You may probably sitting here and thinking, You want to land a career in the area you are studying. Betul? Betul ke tak? I did business and management. So I went in and out of many jobs. So I sold tickets for 3 months. Then I joined Ayamas. You all know Ayamas? Suka makan Ayamas? I used to take the chicken from Port Klang to a studio in PJ to make your advertisements. So the whole day I spend with a dead chicken. I don't take the pictures. We hire professionals, all right? But I am there. I have to pick the chicken, cook the chicken in the restaurant, take it to the studio. I was doing point of sales materials, all right? So I went in and out of jobs. I gave myself 3 months in every job. Can you believe it? Because I was looking for what makes me. What makes me? Do you know what makes you happy? You may not. If you do not know, I have good news for you because right now you are at the right place. You know, I've spoken to many students, but they're all final year students. They want to go out and get a job. You have 3 to 4 years to think about what's going to make you happy. Do you think happiness is important? Is money important? Happiness versus money, what is more important? Okay, you will find out soon when you grow up. All right, what makes you happy? So I was with Ayamas. I was not happy in Ayamas as well. But every job I go in and out, I come back home and I write, what is my pro, what is my con? What was good, what was bad? What was my weakness, what is my strength? What I like, what I don't like. You know why I do that? Do you know why I do that? Hello? Do you know why I do that? Because I need to tell my father why I need to resign. Every time I want to leave a job, I must tell my dad, Pa, I want to resign this job because pop. My father cannot argue with me. I was supposed to study law, but that's a different story. All right, let's continue this, right? So I did that. Finally, I went into Price Waterhouse. And I was doing taxation. Because I did business and management, I could go into marketing, I can go into sales, I can go into management, I can go into taxation. So I did taxation. That job, okay, I'm not talking bad about Price Waterhouse, but that job made me cry the most in my entire career till today. Every morning before I go into office, I cry in my car for the whole day. I said, this is my karma, let me cry first. And then I will go in. I go to LHDN. Officer ask me question, no. He questions me, aku macam bodoh je. Do you know when this expat came in? Why is he leaving the country? Call your boss right now. No answers. So I was doing expat taxation. 6 months in Price Waterhouse. Pay was good, so I stuck on. Then I decided, this is not life. And I moved, and I found what I wanted to do. All right? So you will be going through the same challenges. But today I have a good news. All right? The good news is what we preach about, social business. Now, don't get worried with the word business. Business means what? You need 2 million, 3 million to start, correct? That's what's going on in your head, correct? I can bring people who started business with 5 ringgit. Okay? For you to register a company with SSM is 80 ringgit only. I had my own company too at one point. So social business. So I'm going to share with you how social business started. Since you said just now you didn't know. Hello? Hi? All right. This is the father of social business, Professor Yunus. Can you guess which nationality he is? Huh? Malaysian? Professor Yunus ni dari mana? Can guess or not? Indonesia, okay. I don't have gift for you, huh? Can you all guess? China? Which part of him looks like China? Where is he from? Brunei? Malaysia? He's from Bangladesh. Oh, aku pernah nampak banyak Bangla tapi ini tak nampak macam Bangla. He's from Bangladesh. And he is the father, bapa, of social business. All right, now what is social business? Okay. All right. Social business is something that you start from the heart. Do you know how to start something from the heart? I hear a very strong no from there. All of you will like something, correct? All of you every day look at a problem, correct? Correct or not? Betul ke tak? Do you have any problems? If any of you no problem, later see me, I can give you some problems. You start with that. So, the definition of social business is a non-loss. Non-loss means tak rugi. You make profit, or even if you break even, is good. All right? It's a non-loss, non-dividend. When do you pay dividend? When you make profits, correct? When you make profits, you pay dividend. So social business is a non-profit, non-dividend company designed to address a social problem. So if you don't pay dividends, if you make profits, what happens to the profit? Masuk pocket. What happens to the profit? At the back got laughter. What do you do with the profit? You buy a Mercedes-Benz. You invest the profits to expand your geographical reach ataupun your products and services. So the profits goes back into the organization. Do you get it? So a social business is a non-loss, non-dividend organization that is there to solve a social problem. The profits are used to expand the company reach and improve the product and or services. Clear? Hello? Hi. Why did I say this is a good news? You never thought of you becoming an entrepreneur. You thought, I'm doing accounting, so I become an accountant. I'm doing medical, I become a doctor. I'm doing social science, so I go into PR or journalism or broadcasting. I did engineering, so I become an engineer. That's what you've been thinking, right? Are you sitting here with that thought? The good news is you have more option. You can give back to the society and you can feel satisfied. So Sheila, if I do this, I'll be happy but no money. Are you thinking of that? Because I asked you earlier, happiness versus money. No. I will tell you why, because it's one of the principles. All right? And I'll tell you how you do it. Are you with me? Hello? Wonderful. All right? So you understand what is a social business, huh? Okay. How it started now? The father of social business in the 1970s, all right, in Bangladesh. What can you see in the picture? What can you see? People are starving. What else is happening? People are poor, correct? People are looking at each other for food. Can you see that? By seeing all that, can you sleep at night? Will you sleep nyenyak lepas tengok ini semua ataupun you will think how you want to help these people? Yes, what? You think about them. Very good. You think about them. So, Professor Muhammad Yunus also, he thought about them because this was happening. These are real pictures from the 1970s in Bangladesh. Real pictures. Do you think Malaysia got poverty? What are we doing about it? After this, you think, what are you going to do about it? All right, so Professor Yunus saw this and he told himself he needs to do something about it. Now, if you give a man a fish, you bagi seorang tu ikan yang sudah meninggal dunia, tu masak and makan. You bagi dia makan berapa hari? 1 hari, correct? You give this person a fish a day. But if you teach this person to fish, menangkap ikan, kalau you mengajar orang ni menangkap ikan, apa akan berlaku? Correct? Dia boleh menangkap ikan dengan sendiri. You mengajar sekali je. Lepas tu you pergi mengajar orang lain. So, Professor Yunus said, I don't want to do charity. Do you know what is charity? You give money and you go. The money finished, the person go and beg some more. So he said, I want to break this cycle. I want them to be independent and sustainable. So he was thinking, cracking his head. And then he came up with social business. He said, I will start a social business called microfinancing. You tahu tak, you ambil loan. How many of you are studying here with PTN? Anyone? You took a loan, correct? You need to pay back, correct? Later when you become a bit rich, you probably give loan to others. You understand what I'm saying? You dah bayar balik, PTN will give to someone else. Correct? Then orang tu dah bayar balik. So, that way many people will have education. I'm just giving a layman example because I don't want to confuse you. So microfinancing is similar, sama. Professor Yunus kata, saya akan bagi duit, you mulakan bisnes, dapatkan profit, bayar balik. Kalau nak ambil balik loan yang lebih besar, besarkan lagi bisnes, supaya banyak orang boleh keluar daripada kemiskinan. Are you with me? Hello? Hi. So today, if you are in accountancy, you can start a social business related to accountancy. If you are in medical line, more choices. If you are an engineer, you can start something got to do with engineering. But it's solving a problem. And then you create more synergy between people and the problem is solved in many areas. Are you okay so far? So he started Grameen Bank. So today you go back and you Google Grameen Bank. He started, he gave his beneficiary, orang yang mengambil loan tu sebanyak 10 USD saja. 10 USD berapa RM? 10 USD berapa RM? 35 ringgit. Dia bagi loan sebanyak 35 ringgit sahaja untuk orang memulakan bisnes sendiri. So bila diorang buat bisnes sendiri, diorang dapat profit, dapat makan, dapat bayar balik. Alright? So they are sustaining their life. So he gave many people pay back. 99.9% of the people who took the loan are women. Ladies. In this room, I made an observation. I think about 70 to 80% are ladies. Give yourself a clap. You have come a long way. Now don't stop here. You must do greater things to help others. So Professor Yunus, 99.9% were ladies who took the loan and more than 90% paid back the loan. All the women who took the loan paid back the loan. So they started Grameen Bank. All right? I'm going to show you a video so that you understand. This person took a loan of 10 USD long time ago. All right? And how it has helped this person to come out of poverty and give you an idea on how you can do this as well. All right?
Rahman Khan was one of the early borrowers. In December of 1979, she first learned of this new organization that would give loans even to a poor woman such as her. Today, she looks back on a different life, where every day was a struggle just to keep a roof over their heads.
জীবনে ওই ধানের নাড়া ওই নাড়া দিয়ে ঘর ছায়া রাখছি ঘরের নাড়া দিয়ে ছায়া রাখছি ওই পানি পড়ছে আকাশে কোনো ওই পানি এমকে ছাপিয়ে ছেলে মেয়ে নেই আমি করে ছাপিয়ে থাকছি পাটি ডাইকে চাপ দিয়ে হয়ে থাকছি এই কলা পাতা দিয়ে বৃষ্টি হইলে বৃষ্টি নামলে এই কলা পাতা দিয়ে ই করে থাকছি ছেলে মেয়ে নিয়ে অনেক কষ্ট গেছে
She was married in 1962 at the age of 10 and had her first child when she was 15. Her husband worked as a field laborer, making less than 20 cents a day. So having enough to eat was a constant struggle. It is with difficulty that she speaks of those times.
জীবন আমার মনে থাকতো ভাত আল্লাহ মিলাইবো মধ্যে এখন মিলাইলো না ওই বড় ছেলের পেট আর ওই বড় মেয়ের পেট আমি স্যার আমি এত কইতে পারবো না আমার কলজা ফেটে আছে আমি তো জীবনে কি কষ্ট করছি আমি এখন কইতে পারবো না আমি হিংনা কইবার গেলে এখন আমি অস্থির হয়ে যাই আল্লাহ আমার এখন অনেক সুখী বানাইছে অনেক সুখী আল্লাহ আমার দিয়েছে একটা এই কাপড় পাই নাই কে এক আসলা শুকাইছি শুকিয়ে নিয়ে এটা পিনটা তার মধ্যে আর এক আসলা শুকাইছি ওখানে আল্লাহ দুয়ায় আপনাকে তো এখন 10-12টা করে ঘরে থাকি আর আপনাদের কাছে কি বললাম আর বলতে পারবো না
In January of 1980, Jody Mon took out her first loan with a fair amount of trepidation. It was for a total of 600 taka, or about $10. With it, she bought a rice husker and began to husk and sell rice to the local vendors. Over the next year, she worked hard to make the weekly loan payments. Jody Mon made her final payment on January 1st, 1981. For the first time in her life, she and her family were eating 3 meals a day.
ভয় তো লাগবো প্রথম প্রথম আনলাম মানুষে কইলো গ্রামী মানুষে কয় গ্রামী ব্যাংকের টাকা আনলে যে মইরা গেলে ওই ই দিয়ে পারাইবো কব্বর উপরে এমনি বলছে তাই 600 টাকাই না তো একটু ভয় পেলাম তারপরে তো সাহস হইলো 600 টাকার কিস্তি দেওয়ার পরে সাহস হইলো তারপরে টাকা উঠান ধরলাম 2000 করে
Over the last 25 years, Jody Mon has successfully taken out larger loans and paid them back through a number of diverse businesses. Though not all her ventures have been successful, she has built up enough of a safety net so that a setback is not devastating to the family. Now her grandchildren enjoy a life that would have been inconceivable 2 decades ago. Jody Mon would tell you that it all started with a $10 loan.
So it all started with a $10 loan. All right, so think about it. Think about how you can choose a career or choose something that you can help people. And there's a choice. You can start a social business. I'm going to quickly cover the 7 principles of social business. Remember just now I told you, if I invest all my profits back into the company, what happens to me? Do I get any money? All right, now the first principle is your business objective. Your business objective must be from the heart. You must solve a social problem. Now, a lot of businesses, they start with what I know. But a social business always starts with what is the problem, with the need of the society. So that's the first principle. So if you want to do a social business, you ask yourself, what is the problem? Then how you want to solve that problem, all right? Second, I talked about financial and economic stability, correct? So you don't give people a fish. You teach them how to fish instead of giving them a fish so that it is sustainable. All right, the third one, when you start a business, you may have an investor. The investor get back their investment only. They are not paid any profits. Do you understand? That's why no dividend. So if I invest 500 in your business, when you make profit, how much do I get back? 500. No additional. That's the third. When investment amount is paid back, company profit stays with the company. Don't turn it into a Mercedes-Benz, a bungalow, a new laptop. The profit stays with the company for what? I shared just now. For what it stays with the company? Expand the reach or product and services. All right? Okay, can I just stand there and share the rest? Can I? All right. All right, make sure the business that you are starting is environmentally conscious. Don't pollute the environment. All right. And the next principle, number 6. What does it say? What does it say? Can you read? They get the market wage with better working condition. So does that mean you get your salary? Yes or no? Do you take back market wage? No. Remember, social business is not a charity business. Social business is solving a social problem, but you are still taking back a market salary. So when you make profit, you minus off all your expenditure. That is your net profit that stays with the company. Are you with me? Hello? All right. So that is number 6. So don't worry. You get a salary when you start making profits. Usually it takes about 6 months to 2 years to make profits. All right. And the last one, do it with. When I say social business, you're solving a social problem, everybody goes like, I come and study so hard to do this. No. The good news is you have options. You don't really need to work for other people only. You can start something on your own to help the people out there. Are you with me? So make your decision. This afternoon you are here. Count your blessing. Not everybody is here, correct? You are the selected few who's here to listen to me, Derek, and the others since morning. Were you here since morning? Oh, only afternoon, sorry. I thought morning you had something else. Right, so ask yourself, why are you here? Education is 50%. The other 50% is what you want to do with your education. Intellect, without knowing what you want to do, it's like a bird without wings. You know birds? If they got no wing, what will happen? They die. They cannot fly. If a bird can't fly, good thing or bad thing? So ask yourself, you have education, you are intelligent, but you do not know what makes you happy. You are exactly like that bird without wings. So start asking yourself what you want to do. So this is one option for you. Make your decisions when you are young. Because, not to say what, later when you have commitments, you get married, you need to ask your husband, you need to consider your children, you need to pay for your car, for your house, then you cannot make decisions like this. But if you start in your university as a social project, before you leave the university, you start your business. Instead of you looking for a job, you hire people to work for you. Think of it that way. So start a social project while you are in university. You are year 1, start looking at how you can help people. What can you do? My Harapan, we do a lot of coaching. We do training. We also have a little bit of funding. So if your social project is very good, we will give you the startup fund. If we cannot give you, we will tell you where you can get your startup fund. So don't only put all your eggs in academic, like what Derek said, right? He said, do a lot of extra curriculum activities, volunteer, start somewhere. Start thinking about your career path. You know, when I was studying back in UK, we have a club inside our campus. Correct, Derek? We have a club inside our campus. So all I thought about is having fun. Everybody think about only having fun. Studying means having fun because I'm young. Kamu pun sama kan? No, oh very good lah y'all. Right? It's having fun plus planning for your future. Because if you fail to plan now, you are failing to plan for your future. All right? You all look very tired already. Hear me speak for 50 minutes already, very tired. Okay, so I'm done. I hope you understand. All right? Thank you very much.
I will open the session for questions. And we have limited to a few questions because we want to be right on time. But we have gifts. We have something for anyone coming up with a question. Now, can I have hands to ask questions? Anyone? Anyone from the floor? We've heard the stories, we've heard their experiences, their achievements. Do you want to know more? Come on, UKM. One question. Right, give a big hand. Now, kindly introduce yourself, your faculty, yeah? And please identify the speakers that you want to direct the question.
My name is Abdul Akmal Ismail bin Abdul Ghani, and I was from Science and Technology faculty. And my question is for Mr. Derek about the WOOP apps. If I've known, the WOOP apps is about the job vacancy, right? So actually the job vacancy on the WOOP apps really cover all the job vacancy in Malaysia. That's the first question. And the second question is about the information about the job vacancy. My question is about, do the company that have the job vacancy inform to you and you update the job vacancy on the apps, or the company do update the job vacancy by themselves? That's my questions about the WOOP apps. Thank you.
Thanks for your question. That's quite interesting. We cover the entire Malaysia. We don't limit to any particular discipline. So there's sales and marketing jobs there's technology jobs, there are engineering jobs, creative jobs. But we focus mainly on internships, graduate level jobs, up to 5 years. So we want to help the younger people find really good jobs. And on the second question of, do we update it or the companies update it? The companies update it themselves. So we try to keep the jobs as up to date as we can.
Are you clear on that? All right, stay there. We have something for you. Right, just turn your back. There you are. It's the gift, yeah? It's not her, it's the gift. All right, thank you very much. Now, thank you, Derek. Thank you very much. Now, can we have another one more? There you go. Very good. Now, introduce yourself, your name, your faculty, and who you want to direct the question to.
I would like to ask Mr. Director. First of all, I'm Eli Anira binti Eli Kamal. I'm studying Bachelor of Entrepreneurship and Innovation. I have 3 questions for you. Okay. I have an experience in a group interview for 2 times, and even for the second times, I was so very weak and lack of experience. So, what tips to improve this interview skills in a group? Okay, that one the first question. And the second one, in applying for a job, will be interview for a group in a group, in a group. And the third one, what should we do for the last preparation? Do you have any tips for it? That's all.
Thank you. You can stand here. Hello. Excuse me. You can wait over here.
Yes, thank you so much for that question. So if I'm trying to understand the theme, it's mainly on group interviews. So like panel interviews where you have a lot of interviewers and you're just one person, right? Okay, I think quite simply, the first question is how do you get better? It is practice, really. I think a lot of it comes from you being very comfortable doing it. When there are a lot of people looking at you and you're still new to interviews and now you have like 5 people or 4 people sitting there, it's tough. But the only thing I'll focus, I suppose the only, besides practice, I can probably say there's always, you notice, one lead interviewer in a panel interview. There typically is one person leading, that the person is always the one asking the questions, typically. So when this person is talking, obviously you focus a lot on them, but while you're answering the question, just make sure that you also turn and face the other people in the group as well. So it tends to be a bit like that. But yeah, I suppose the only thing you can really do is just keep practicing until you're comfortable. Yeah. What was your third question? The last preparation. Last minute. Last minute, okay. I think if you don't have a lot of time to prepare for the interview, I think at the very least, try to get there early. I always tell people, get to the place early. Sometimes when I was so busy doing a lot of different interviews, right, I didn't research the company properly. Okay, I didn't research. So I get there maybe an hour earlier so that I'm very calm. I sit in a coffee shop. Let's say the interview is 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, I'm already there already. I'm sitting there. And then I just go through my notes very quickly and I just research the company quickly using the phone. I suppose if you really needed something last minute, that's what you would do. But practice, yeah, that's the best answer I can give you. Okay, thank you so much.
I would like to ask the question, but firstly I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nur Rashida binti Ar-Rashid from Islamic faculty. And the first question I would like to ask to Mr. Derek is just now you were saying about your experience, go through a lot of interviews, which is you mean is a 16 interviews, is it? So that's mean I would like to know how the thing doesn't makes you feel struggle. Because I know first interview, second interview, once you don't get it and you fail and then you feel so, oh, I don't get it. And then you'll be like, okay, give up. So I don't want that. So how thing does make you feel so struggle and then go through 16 interviews, it's really tough. So for me, maybe for the best, also the second question is the best secret recipe for those who like to interview with the most powerful company, and then what's the best tip that you can give to them? And the third question is to the Madam Jaya Sheila. You are saying about your family just now, because you are struggling and you fight for your family. So I just want to ask, who's your inspirations? That's all. Thank you.
Okay. I'll just answer first. So, I think, the first one was, how do you go through 16 interviews and still, get better, right? I think the most important thing you have to know is you have to expect that you're going to you're going to suck at it in the beginning. That's what I'll say. When your first few interviews, you're probably not going to be good at it. You just need to know that. But what you can do is, by really preparing for it, and keep on practicing, every time you come out of the interview, even though you don't do very well, what I always tell myself is I write down all the questions that they ask me. And I try to develop a better answer. And I keep developing. And then when I go for the next interview, when they ask me the same question, I actually get very happy. Because I know how to answer this question now. You see, so every time, as you get better and better, sometimes maybe I get to the second interview that I fail. Sometimes I get to the third interview that I fail. But I say 16, right? But when I got to about the 8th or 9th interview, I actually got offers for every job from the 8th interview until the 16th interview. So I was very good at it already. It's just that I didn't accept the job. So that's how you will know that you are getting better at it every time. What's the one tip? It's the best tip. I have like 100 things that I do, but speak well and be confident and friendly. I think focus on that. Like I said earlier, right, there's a big difference about being able to do the job and being able to get the job. And when you interview and you're very comfortable, you're very confident, you're very friendly, even though you don't have a lot of experience, and when you're a graduate, people know that, but when your personality shines through, you stand a higher chance of getting hired. Yeah.
All
Thank
right,
you.
yes.
I'll just pass the mic to
Yes,
Sheila.
Sheila.
You were asking what is my inspiration. Who? Okay, my inspiration was my dad. I didn't talk so much about my family, but my father is a laborer. So when I was studying, his salary is about 754 ringgit, all right? And he comes from India, and he has got a rate I see till today. All right, so how did he spend about 200 over 1,000 on me? I don't know. It's divine intervention. And my father doesn't do only one job. He does like so many things. He's a good cook. He's good at everything. So every time I fail, I remember his face. And I told you I was supposed to do law, so I went for law class after my A-levels, but I decided I don't want to continue because there's so many memorized, you got to memorize everything, so I was not good at it. I came back and I told my dad this. I said, Pa, in the class all of them are Indians, and I won't get a job, which is not the truth, right? But that got me out of the situation. And my dad told me this, it's okay, I'm not educated, your mom is not educated, do what you like and make sure you stay happy. So there goes, so that is my inspiration all the time.
Right, thank you, Sheila.
First of all, I'm V. Suyen from the Medic faculty. I wanted to thank the three speakers for today for giving us a wonderful talk today. But I will be giving a question to Ms. Sheila. Can I know, can you share with us what are the examples of these social businesses that students themselves have actually started it, and maybe some motivational advices for anyone who is interested in studying it? Thank you.
All right. You are a medical student, is it? Okay.
Yes.
So I will give you one example which is very relevant to you. In Malaysia, we have a doctor who started, it's still a project. They haven't started it as a business yet, but it's still a project. It's called Hospital Beyond Boundaries. Have you heard of that? Have you heard? Okay, Dr. Lutfi. He's from UKM, by the way. He graduated from here. So it's a very social-driven business. He has established it in Cambodia, and he established the hospital for people who live in the slums, and is going to do the same things for Sabah and Sarawak. All right, so that's one example. You can speak more about it later. The other example is Al-Iqma. Al-Iqma is also a social project they started when they were studying. These are a group of opticians, right, for the eye. They went into Kelantan, rural parts of Kelantan, providing eye care. All right, both were supported by My Harapan and many other organizations in terms of coaching, in terms of training, in terms of funding. These are medical related. Of course, you have many other things like recycling, like BGBG. All right, you can go and Google them. All right, there's Econites. There's so many actually in Malaysia. They are all social. Some are social businesses. Some are just social projects that were started in university, and today it's becoming a business. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe some motivational advices to anyone who would like to start it.
I think you need to find the motivation within yourself about what is it that you want out of this life. So it's very much purpose driven. When you find your purpose, then you will find your motivation. Motivation is never a subject that I can train on or talk on. But when you start doing, you will find your inspiration, you will find your motivation. Like Dr. Lutfi, when he was talking about his story, he had vertigo. And he was in the hospital, not able to move, everything was going around him. And that's when he asked himself, if today I'm going to die, what is it that I've given back to the society or to myself? What is my purpose, God? Right? And that's when he decided he wants to give back. And since then, he never got his vertigo. That's the good news. So motivation is something that you derive from within. You ask yourself every day what makes you happy when you go to sleep, when you have the satisfaction. So I've been in training for 14 years now, and every night when I sleep, I ask myself, how have I impacted at least one person? I know there's about 4,000 of you here or 3,000 of you. If you heard at least 10% of what I said, I count my blessing and I count your blessing. And I think that keeps me motivated. So you need to find what motivates you. And I want to say this, just because you're a student doesn't mean you can't go far. Actually, as a student, you go further than any one of us. You have more power.
My name is Sharima and I'm from Faculty of Education for TESOL. So this question is dedicated to Mr. Derek, related to interview. There is a friend of mine shared these interview tips. She says that during interview, we used to answer questions from the interviewer. So why not we are the one who ask them question? Maybe a simple question like, after all this session, do I have the potential to be one of your worker? Something like that. So I would like to ask your opinion. Is these tips quite relevant? That's all from. Thank you.
I want to first say, right, I really want to say this. I'm actually very impressed. You know, I used to have a lot of people tell me, hey, Malaysian students don't like to ask questions. They are so shy. You know, you ask questions, everyone just sit down. You know? But so many questions are out there that I'm so impressed. You should give yourself a clap. That's great. Seriously, you know what? When I learned this from my dad, right? Because I was very shy when I was young. I was so shy. I don't like asking questions because I was afraid that I would look stupid. Yeah, I was so afraid I would look stupid. And my dad said, why? I said, why do you do that? He said, if you ask a question, you look stupid now, but after that, you're not stupid anymore. Whereas the people who decide to be quiet stay stupid forever. You know, so it's very good. I would encourage everyone to ask, be willing to ask if you're not sure. I've been to university before. I asked really dumb questions, and some people laugh at me. But I know that after I ask, I know the answer. Okay, so to answer your question, should you ask the question to the interviewer? The best interviews I've sat in. So I used to work in a recruitment company as well. And the ones that I really enjoyed were very like conversations. Like I'm interviewing this person, and while I'm interviewing, suddenly this person asks me back a question. So we were like having a chat, and I think that's good. Now the only thing is you have to know what kind of question to ask. Don't ask a question just to ask a question. People know that, right? It has to flow very well with the whole conversation. So if you can do that, that's very good. That's one thing. The second thing was, you want to ask them, am I suitable for this job? I think you can ask it maybe slightly in a different way, So perhaps towards the end of the interview, if they ask you, do you have any questions? Just ask them very honest. So maybe say something like, okay, this is actually my first interview in the company, and can I just ask you something very honestly? What do you think, about so far what I've done? What are the things that you actually like, and maybe would you have any potential concerns that you're not sure about? Ask it like this. So if you ask it like this, if you ask them what they actually like, then you make them say also, they think about it a little bit, like, oh, okay, I like this about you, like that. And then also when they tell you any potential concerns, that's your opportunity for you to maybe say, to give them an answer. Right, so I think it's okay, but don't say in that sentence like, oh, how do you think I'm suitable for this job? Not like that, but something a bit better. Yeah, but thank you.
Okay, firstly I want to thank for both speakers for such benevolent talk for today. I'm from Faculty of Science and Technology from Biology program. Right, so I would like to forward this question to Mr. Derek. Okay, it is a mere question about we are the Generation Y, live in a different kind of situation compared to the baby boomers, which is later than us. So once we are hired into a company or being recruited into any company, so what do you think the most dominant motivational factors for the generation Y to bring their performance to a very high state, to a higher level, so that the employees can perform better? So that's it. Thank you.
Yes. You know, I read this quote once. I can't remember who it was. I think the name of the guy was William Radu Shell or something. And he said, when you want to choose what you do, choose a boss. Don't choose a job. Because the boss is going to be your mentor. They are the ones who are going to teach you about work. And if you, especially in the early years of your career, if you have a leader that will work very hard with you, actually teach you or coach you how to be very good in your job, and also be very hard on you. By the way, guys, you don't want someone who's just there to just handhold you all the time. That's not necessarily a very good leader. You know, someone who puts the bar very high, you know, high expectations, but also helps you get there and makes you better. I think if you can find a leader or boss like that, or a company that behaves like this, that encourages everyone to behave like this, I think that's where you'll find all the young Gen Y people to be really, really engaged in their job.
Now we've heard stories, we heard experiences, we heard the answers to your queries from our speakers. Let's give them our usual heartfelt appreciation. Right, with that, Prof. Yusof, Professor Rosila, Dr. Lokman, and our distinguished speakers, we have come to the end of the session, and we would like to present tokens of appreciation to our distinguished speakers. Prof. Yusof, can we have Mr. R.D. from Mr. R.D. from Talent Corp. Thank you very much, Mr. R.D. Thanks. Thank you, Prof. Yusof. Can we have Mr. Derek To from WAP? Can we have Associate Prof. Dr. Rosila? And finally, we have something for Sheila. With that, we have come to the end of the program. Again, I would like to thank the VIPs, the distinguished speakers, and my colleagues, and you students for being very patient and attentive in your own peculiar way. I am Associate Prof. Dr. Ahmad Fuad Shamsuddin from Faculty of Pharmacy. And I would like to thank you and have a good day.